Good day, global crypto enthusiasts. This is 88 Fantastic coming to you with another news update in the cryptocurrency world, January 25th, 2019. Opening up today, we've got Bitcoin sitting at 35.89, losing a little bit over the night. Like as we said, the chart people expect it to fully drop by the end of the month. Right now, that's not looking as good as they think it's going to be because they think it's going down to 3,200. The 29th of January is the day that they've set out for that. Let's have a quick peek and see who's been moving in the last 24 hours. The hell is Linky? First time I've heard of that one, actually. We'll have to look into that one. Anybody else? Nothing really too much. A little bit of green. And we're going to see a lot of red. Pundy was in the news last night. They released their phone. Their POS phone there, so they should start seeing some movement here. They gained a little bit. They were sitting at a little around 411 there for quite some time. So the bigger reason why Pundy had dropped so much here in January is because at the end of 2018, their 7% monthly bonus had ended. Now for 2019, it's only 2% per month. All right, let's start getting into some news here. Some good news. Italy makes first ever official move towards blockchain regulation. This is fantastic news. If anyone follows the actual the global news, Italy has for probably at least the last year, Italy's been having some serious issues with their monetary system and been really close going bankrupt a couple of times. So they announced an official statement a couple of days ago about this. The recording of IT documents to the use of technologies based on distributed ledgers produces the legal effects of electronic time validation, which is awesome. And it's going through everything. So they're making, like the article says, they're making a grab for the blockchain, and Italy needs it badly because they are just in a money shock right now. So at the end of the article, it even says, indeed, Italy seems to be attempting to gain a greater foothold in the global blockchain industry. They may be a little bit behind the curve like Switzerland and Malta, and honestly, they're not because Switzerland tried to open up an over-the-counter trading. They did a couple of weeks ago, and it was all pumped up about hundreds of millions of dollars coming in that weekend. I think they only did $400,000 in volume, and for Switzerland, that is incredibly pitiful. All right, this is amazing news. Blockstream satellite broadcast first message from the mysterious Bitcoin user. So we were talking the other day about how certain countries like in Africa and possibly Venezuela cutting off internet completely and leaving everybody in the dark in order to do some tracking. I'm going to read most of this article out because like the header says, straight out of Blade Runner. This is so cool and so amazing that somebody did this. You got to check this out. So Blockstream, which launched its network of satellites to allow Bitcoin users to transact without an internet connection, has yet to provide an official comment on the event, which developer Grubbles confirmed as genuine on Twitter. Covering around two-thirds of the world's surface as of 2018, Blockstream satellites ultimately aim to open up the Bitcoin blockchain to anyone capable of operating a wallet. Let's keep going down here because I really want you to see some of this here. Bitcoin beyond the internet. So Blockstream first launched its network early in 2018. The user-originated message was possible thanks to the release of a dedicated API this month. Currently in beta, the implementation uses the Lightning Network testnet to pay fees, meaning the message also used testnet coins to broadcast itself. So what they're doing is they basically put up their own satellites, and if certain things in the world had their internets cut off, you could still transmit through the Blockstream satellites. So all that is needed to receive a broadcast is a satellite dish. A TV satellite dish will suffice. A few low-cost components and a computer. Broadcasts can be received anywhere with a line of sight to one of 4 geosynchronous satellites completely free of charge. Absolutely amazing stuff. Well done to the team over at Blockstream. Give yourselves a pat on the back for that one. That's huge for everybody. Yesterday on the video, we had talked about Ripple and the article that came out from SCRE and how Ripple's circulating supply was out of whack and their company literally isn't as worth as much as they think it is. And he also made comments about the wallets, as I've been doing as well. When 97% of your value is owned by 10%, there's something wrong here. So the problem is now the guy that wrote the article, his family is getting death threats from ccn.com. When cryptocurrency researcher firm Messiari published a shocking report alleging that Ripple XRP, supposedly the second largest cryptocurrency, overstated its market cap by billions of dollars, it was a sure bet that that claim would ruffle some feathers. The actual nature of the backlash, however, has been far more chilling. So somebody had just called him. Here he's got it on a Twitter. Somebody just called me from a Nashville number and recited his wife's birthday to him and then hung up. These are the type of animals that he's been dealing with. To be clear, there is no reason to believe that the harassment is coming from anyone directly affiliated with Ripple. However, they called on Ripple executives, including CEO Brad Garlinghouse, to publicly denounce the harassment before Messiari or his family get hurt. Like, this is just so absolutely ridiculous that a shit coin to begin with that has no use anywhere. You're paying for a glorified data spreadsheet that nobody needs. The banks don't need it, but yet this company's been able to dupe how many people into buying. Oh, let's go see what Ripple's worth today. Like, this is just mind blowing. Almost $13 billion. So we don't even know how much of that is real to begin with, and 97% of that 13 billion belong to 10% or less anyway. So the other people that are fighting for that 3%, you should really think about what you're fighting about before you go and threaten people and their families. So that is absolutely ridiculous. Let's get back onto some good news now. The country of Bermuda to announce the launch of a crypto-friendly bank next week. This is really good news because this is starting to happening all over the world right now. And the biggest issue for me being in Canada is Canada and the United States constantly delaying everything because our two governments are so pitiful right now. They can't operate without fighting amongst themselves. And the other countries are seeing this and taking full advantage of this. Switzerland, Russia, China, Bermuda, Malta. So the article goes, it looks like the skies will be much clearer for the crypto and blockchain community in Bermuda soon. A bank that will accept blockchain and crypto companies appears to be just around the corner. Bermuda Premier made the announcement during one of his interviews with a BBC journalist in a consensus lounge yesterday. And this is one of the many events at the World Economic Forum that was held in Davos, Switzerland. So this is also good news, and like I said, this is happening all over the world right now, except for in North America, as always. The big four banks down below, the political joke that it is in North America right now, is slowing everything down to a crawl, while the rest of the world is giddying up and getting their shit together and making blockchain and cryptocurrencies mainstream everywhere but here. All right, we got one more for ya. Originally, let's go back to, I missed it. I'm bringing up an old article from last December, December 2nd, 2018, because the previous article that I just knocked off my screen was talking about how Japan and China are preparing for everything that's coming. And anybody that's been watching or following or listening to me know that I'm a firm believer when the US dollar actually does crash in the next 2 years here, that Russia, China, and the Asia area, they're going to be leading the world in every form of finances, whether it's cryptocurrency or it's precious metals. That particular side of the world has been hoarding all of it for the last maybe 3 years now. And what they're accumulating and what they're getting ready for is the next crash. North America's not getting ready for it because we're so used to everything being normal over here. And they've had a really rough go of it the last 40, 50 years. So they're smart, they're preparing. And if people weren't aware of it, China is responsible for the vast majority of Bitcoin mining. North America has about 30% of all Bitcoin mining. The rest is over in China and Russia. And then this report here was talking about how people from the Neo community were invited to the Russian Federation to have a talk with members of our Russian parliament. Absolutely true. And the article that I just bumped out here showed how the Russian Federation and association is right here. Like it says, they are ready to fully support everything. And if you're not familiar with the NEO project, NEO is self-sustainable. It's its own living ecosystem. It's its own smart money system. And honestly, if nothing else happened to work and it was only NEO, that would be perfectly fine because NEO is an amazing team and they've got everything going on for them over there. So that's what's happening with Russia and China. They are literally they're getting ready for this, and it would be really nice to see if North America could finally get into some of that stuff too. So I'll do one more quick refresh on the market here for you. We got a whole $3 gain on Bitcoin since we started the video. And we'll have one look at how our market cap's looking here. We're at 15.8, which is pretty much the normal. 14 to 15 billion dollars per 24 hours is pretty much the normal. When we see it over 20 billion in a 24-hour period, it's either we're really going down hard or we're slowly, the weekends are getting beat up again. So as you can see, let's go back here. The weakest point of the month was January 13th, and we actually really haven't come too close to that yet. So these next 4 to 5 days will be really big to see what happens. And if we stay, I'm hoping we stay above the 3,500 mark because that'll prove once again that Elliott wave and Fibonacci and all of these chartings, they come close to guessing what's going to happen, but the money figures that they produce are still not even close yet because the market is still so volatile and so many projects, a couple of dollars can manipulate the prices of just about everything. So what you're really looking for when you're checking out things is its 24-hour trading volume. That for me, that's the indicator. As you can see, Bitcoin averages 5 billion per day. Tether, which is a stable coin. If you're not sure what a stable coin is, you don't want to lose your profits, so you sell out and you buy into Tether and your money stays even 1 to 1. ETH is still at 2.6 billion. That's it. We've only got 3 that are cracking the billion mark, and look at good old Litecoin. In one of my videos earlier, we talked about the next Litecoin halving, which is in about 190 days from now. And if anybody had been paying attention to what happens to Bitcoin when Bitcoin is halved in the past, it's absolutely incredible. The price moves up and it seems to maintain. And considering Litecoin supply, I do believe we're at around 80, 70, 80% of its supply right now. Where is supply? Oh, yeah. But Litecoin's been moving hard. It's really nice to see it move up. I think it passed $1 2 in the rankings this week as well. So let's look at the 3-month chart for Litecoin. Look at nice steady growth. I fully expect this to keep going as we get closer to the next halving, which is in 190 days. So what's that, 6 months from now? So what are we looking at? Sometime mid to late June, early July, Litecoin should be right off the charts. And like I said in my other video, I expect Litecoin to be in the top 5 permanently here pretty quick. So let's have a look here. Oh, where did it go? It did too. It passed Stellar. So Litecoin was sitting at 8 yesterday. Well, it's only, well, that could change overnight too. But what would be really nice to see is eventually, I'd like to see Ripple slide right out of the top 5, out of the top 10. I'd like to see Litecoin move up, and then I'd like to see Ripple move out. I'd like to see Bitcoin Cash move out, and I'd like to see fake Satoshi get the hell out of the top 10 completely. And Litecoin and who else would be nice? Dash's 5th birthday is coming up, so who knows? Neo, awesome. But anyways, that's all we got for you guys today. As always, I thank you for your time and your attention. As feel free to make any comments, ask any questions. For January 25th, 2019, this is 88 Fantastic signing out. Take care, y'all.